Shamagana, and I've been playing video games since I was about 10, and I consider myself part of the MOBA subgroup culture thing. So I'm probably more biased towards giving them praise than normal people would be. That's about it.
I'm Juvilyn now, and I can say that I'm part of this subculture because video games are a part of my life a lot, and it's been a factor in so many ways that I live my life. And I have a bias towards video games, even though video games are very addictive and sometimes very bad. I still have that bias that video games bring up a community that is fun-loving, and it's like a family.
Hi, I'm Juvilyn, and I love video games, but I've never heard of MOBA before. But I mean, I've heard of League of Legends. But usually when I think of video games, I think Pokemon and other Nintendo games.
Hi, I'm Benedict, and I consider myself a video game addict. The type of games that I like playing are FPSs and Japanese RPGs, but for some reason I never heard of MOBAs before. I only heard of League of Legends, and today during this project, Dota 2 and Heroes of the Storm. So I like to play video games as a time to pass time on, because I like to get out there in the video game world and not in real life. MOBA stands for Multiplayer Online Battle Arena. The mobile players we interviewed told us it is team-focused video game based around pushing down lanes towards enemy space to achieve victory.
Some game title examples they shared were League of Legends, Heroes of the Storm, and Dota 2. There were quite a few terms that our informants shared with us. Like one term was called soup, which is to go to the healing well. And another one is ping, which is to lure people to go to a certain location. And the other one I found really interesting, which is called scrub. So if a person is new, or just in general, if they've been playing but they really suck at the game, then you would call that person a scrub. So in a way, you would call it, instead of a noob, you call them a scrub in MOBA.
Other terms that our informants shared with us are capture or cap, which is to gain a control point or beneficial asset. Another term is snipe, which is to kill quickly and or skillfully. And lastly, the term GG, which stands for good game. The MOBA players we interviewed said when the environment is relaxed and everything goes well and everyone chills with each other. However, often while playing games, especially competitive ones, the tone becomes very intense. When that happens, the blaming begins and people start to verbally attack each other using intense and violent language.
Voice chat, there are conflicting sides. Some people are simply happy to be there and play the game and keep each other company. But specifically, the League of Legends community, this arises in most mobile communities, are quite toxic to each other. One response was that compared to other games, this was the one that became a true favorite, which has fun aspects of teamwork, competitiveness, playability, and intense fast gameplay.
The other response was that it allowed them to connect with friends, easy to learn how to play and become good at it.
What did our informants tell us about perception of gender in their subculture?
It's pretty much standard, as this guy says. As our informant said, I'm the youngest brother and son, and there's nothing much else than that. Also, our other informant said older brother, caretaker of my younger sister.
So they're in the same group as most Americans, a sibling or two and two parents. Yeah. And then how they perceive gender in their video games as the part of their combatant structure. If there's a female.
It's pretty much on a merit system. It's not about gender. It's about the game itself. You don't hate the player. You hate the game, or how the game is played.
Yeah. If they're a good player, they climb the ranks and get better, and it shows. And if
they'll be stuck on the bottom tier.
Yeah, if they're bad, they're bad.
What else? What else have we learned about their identity?
Well, is that different or the same as U.S.?
Not that different. It's just it's like a it's not it's a hobby.
Yeah.
It's a hobby.
But the gender in what we just described, relation to U.S. Same, different.
No, there's no differences at all. It's just a game.
Yeah.
There's no gender controversy, or what our informants said to us. There's no gender controversy with like changing of family roles.
Our informants told us that MOBAs in general are very popular, especially in East Asia. While still considered nerdy, video games are becoming very accepted, and those gifted can perform and be compensated on the level of an athlete. For instance, there was a $2.13 million prize for the League of World Champions.
The future is your time. The future is your time.
Informant said that their best time was how at the beginning they were pretty bad at the game, with deaths being frequent and kills far and few between. But one day, about 2 months in, they were able to perfect Hero of the Storm with 20 kills without dying. This gave them a sense of accomplishment.
Our interviewee answered that there really isn't any discrimination, although people make a lot of jokes when they're playing, but those jokes are perceived as negative from people that are probably not familiar. One example was that one response that this person is German, and a lot of people that would play with him would make a lot of German jokes. But for him, he said that it was to be expected and there's no harm in it. Other people would probably perceive it as like, oh, they're bullying him really badly, but in reality, to them it's just, oh, they make jokes about everything.
My group project hasn't really affected me on my biases on this subculture, because I'm part of this subculture, and I can in fact say that in our information, or what the information that we've gathered is just the tip of the iceberg, and our analysis is not complete.
The MOBA players that we interviewed were really interesting. I think the terms were really fun, I guess, to learn, and the experience that I had has impacted me to decide that maybe I'll try playing one day. I think I'll try League of Legends, or maybe I'll try Dota. I'm not sure yet, but one day.
It was very interesting doing this project, interviewing MOBA players. Well, it hasn't really impacted me that much, since I think that all online community for gamers are the same. And